What makes you think he was blind, sir? Did you see a blind man on the highway that day?
Of course not. You and I both know I was miles away from here when Carl died.
What if I told you TV's most iconic detective wore the same? Wrinkled coat for over 30 years, and it wasn't even part of the costume department's plan. Or that one of the most gripping episodes of Columbo was shot while a guest star had no idea he was being filmed. If you think you know everything about this rumpled genius, think again. Beneath the cigar smoke and that bumbling demeanor lies a goldmine of behind-the-scenes oddities, improvisational brilliance, and production chaos that somehow birthed a cultural icon. Here are 10 weird, hilarious, and downright unbelievable facts about Columbo 1971 you definitely didn't know, but won't forget. Fact number 1. Peter Falk had a glass eye, and it changed television forever. That lazy-eyed stare, that wasn't acting. Peter Falk lost his right eye to cancer at the age of 3, and his artificial eye gave Columbo a look unlike any other TV detective. But what's more surprising is how he turned what Hollywood saw as a limitation into a defining trait. Producers were hesitant, even skeptical, but Falk's performance and piercing gaze captivated audiences. That slightly off-kilter stare became a subtle but powerful tool. It added unpredictability to Columbo's charm. Viewers couldn't quite read him, and neither could suspects. It wasn't just a production. It was a storytelling element. This show thrived on unpredictability, character depth, and practical choices that accidentally became iconic. Each of these moments added texture, making Columbo feel real, lived in, and uniquely human. It's why the show still holds up decades later, why these stories matter as much as the cases themselves.
Who are you? Lieutenant Columbo, police.
Fact number 2. The iconic "just one more thing" line, totally improvised.
Oh, there's one more thing, sir. Mr. Hart is in Rome. He's going to be back in his hotel room in a little while. Before I talk to him.
One of TV's most legendary catchphrases wasn't even in the original script. Peter Falk began saying just one more thing, off the cuff, usually when he sensed a scene had one more dramatic beat left. It quickly became Columbo's signature. Move disarming suspects by turning back as if he forgot something. It mimicked real police interrogation tactics. Pretend to leave, then pounce with a key question. Writers loved it. Fans memorized it. And Falk, he just thought it was fun. It wasn't just a production note, it was a storytelling element. This show thrived on unpredictability, character depth, and practical choices that accidentally became iconic. Each of these moments added texture, making Columbo feel real, lived in, and uniquely human. It's why the show still holds up decades later, and why these stories matter as much as the cases themselves.
Oh, let me see.
I can come back.
No. I'll have a donut.
Fact number 3. One actor didn't realize he was on camera for an entire scene. During a 1973 episode, guest star Robert Culp was rehearsing a scene so naturally that Peter Falk decided to keep going. The cameras kept rolling, and the director loved the spontaneity. Culp reportedly didn't realize the footage was being used until he saw the final episode air. The result? One of the most authentic, relaxed performances ever captured in a police procedural. This wasn't just good acting, it was a masterclass in improvisation and organic chemistry on set. It wasn't just a production note, it was a storytelling element. This show thrived on unpredictability, character depth, and practical choices that accidentally became iconic. Each of these moments added texture, making Columbo feel real, lived in, and uniquely human. It's why the show still holds up decades later, and why these stories matter as much as the cases themselves.
You know, when I'm listening to the game and my wife interrupts, I can't help myself. I want to hear that game, and I don't care how important the interruption.
Your wife has my sympathy.
Fact number 4. Columbo's trench coat. It wasn't from wardrobe, it was Peter Falk's personal coat, that rumpled beige trench coat Columbo always wore. It belonged to Peter Falk before filming ever started. He brought it from home. The wardrobe department wanted something new, but Falk insisted on using his coat because it felt right for the character. Over time, the coat aged alongside the show. Its wrinkles, stains, and fraying edges told a story of their own, one that made Columbo feel lived in and authentic. It was never replaced. Some claim it was never even cleaned.
I gotta take off this coat. I can't think in this coat.
Pardon me?
The coat. I can't think in the coat. Oh.
Fact number 5. The car was even more iconic and it almost didn't happen. Columbo's 1959 Peugeot 403 convertible was as much a character as any suspect, but finding that car wasn't easy. The production team stumbled upon it while scouting, and Falk loved it instantly. Its dented frame, faded paint, and squeaky doors contrasted perfectly with sleek TV cars of the time. The show eventually needed a backup car for stunts, but finding another Peugeot 403 was like searching for a unicorn. They finally located a second one in a junkyard and cobbled it together. Fact number 6. The dog had no name, no training, and no idea what was happening. Columbo's basset hound, affectionately referred to as Dog, was as laid back and clueless as the detective was sharp and calculating. The show intentionally left the dog unnamed because Columbo never officially names him. But the real fun? That dog was completely untrained. Scenes were constantly rewritten when Dog wandered off, stared at walls, or fell asleep mid-shot. Falk adored the unpredictability. It added realism and a kind of grounded charm. And viewers loved it. Dog became a fan favorite not for tricks or cleverness, but for just being himself.
You stay put now, or I'll revoke your driving privileges.
Fact number 7. Steven Spielberg directed an early episode before anyone knew his name. In 1971, a young, virtually unknown Steven Spielberg directed the second-ever episode of Columbo, titled Murder by the Book. He was just 24 years old. His unique visual style, tight framing, pacing, and dramatic tension caught the eye of Hollywood power players. Many cite that single Columbo episode as Spielberg's first major break into mainstream directing. Watching it now, you can already see the genius brewing. It's like finding Spielberg's cinematic fingerprints before he made Jaws drop literally. Fact number 8. One episode predicted real-life tech years before it existed. In a 1970s episode, Columbo investigates a case involving a primitive version of voicemail and digital data recording. At the time, this technology sounded like science fiction, but within a decade, it became reality. Fans look back now and marvel at how the show's writers seem to anticipate real tech advancements. It wasn't just fiction, it was forward-thinking, cleverly disguised as murder mystery entertainment.
Sax, can you read me?
Yo, all set, Lieutenant.
Fact number 9. NBC canceled the show, while it was still a hit. Despite Columbo being a rating success, NBC pulled the plug in 1978 due to behind-the-scenes tensions and contract issues. Fans were outraged. Peter Falk was reluctant to return until 1989, when the show was revived. Even then, it never recaptured the exact magic of the original. But something wild happened. Columbo grew more beloved in reruns. A new generation discovered the show through syndication. It didn't just survive cancellation, it thrived, becoming a cult classic with an ever-expanding fan base.
I knew you weren't making a call, and I confess I got curious. And when you and your wife, when you went to vote, I took advantage of that opportunity to come in here and look around. And
Fact number 10. Peter Falk solved crimes off-screen too. Okay, not literally. But Falk was so obsessed with realism that he would often visit real police stations while filming on location. He talked to detectives, listened to stories, and even offered insights on cases. During one shoot, Falk reportedly helped officers analyze the mannerisms of a suspect just because he thought it was fascinating. That's dedication. He wasn't just acting like Columbo, he was living it. That's what made Columbo unforgettable. It was never about flashy editing or high-speed chases. It was about the long game, the slow unraveling of ego, the quiet genius hidden beneath a shabby coat, and the relentless, humble persistence of a detective who didn't look like a threat. And yet, it was Peter Falk's charm, the cast's spontaneous brilliance, and the chaotic but magical production choices that elevated it from just another crime drama to a piece of television history. So next time you rewatch an episode, pay close attention. Every pause, every mumbled line, every moment the dog just wanders off fits part of the genius. Enjoyed the quirks? Hit that like button, subscribe for more stories from TV's golden age, and tell us your favorite Columbo moment in the comments. One thing's for sure, you'll never see that coat the same way again.